Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my co-host in the building, my man Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. Say, man, tonight I think I want to go to Dallas, Texas, because I want to eat greedy tonight, man. But, you know, I got my people with me. And sometimes when your lies catch up with you, they got to be addressed. It's time to go in. Say, man, I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the War Zone. I think that you need, if you're a big guy like me, normally when I get on the plane, the first thing I do is I tell them people, can you give me an extension for this safety belt? So they give me the extension so I can strap in. And once I strap in, I'm ready for that ride, that turbulence. Tonight, we're going to give you some War Zone turbulence. Tonight, we're going to expose the lies for what they are. We're going to tell the truth tonight. And it is what it is. Say, man, I got my real peoples with me tonight. I'm going to turn it over to the Queen because I don't need to do no more talking.
So, hello everybody, how are you today? I hope everything is going well. So we don't specifically have a title for the show because, I mean, what do you call nonsense? Now, before I get into it, I want to say this is not something that we normally deal with here. I'll give it a title. We're going to put it to bed so we can get to the bag, all right? We're going to address this one time and we're going to address it. This is the last time we're going to address it, right? So, I've heard a lot of stuff going on in the last couple of weeks or so, and I try to stay out of it. But this particular time, I got dragged into the dog pile, if you will. And so I'm going to defend myself and everything I do. And I just want to put this disclaimer up really quick, okay? We don't condone using the B word, calling people women the H word. And I'm going to say this because I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, you know, Gary has said this word before. Now, what y'all don't know is that Gary and I had a conversation almost a week ago. And between him, myself, and Donovan, we all agreed that we were not going to call women those names anymore. And from that point, you guys haven't heard Gary reference women in that manner. Okay, so I just want to say this before I show you all my receipts and my evidence that I've done my due diligence as a woman.
You got your receipts?
Oh.
Say, man, y'all better get a seatbelt.
And I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. But Gary, can you go ahead and put my little thing up here? Okay, so, oops. Give me 1 second. I'm still trying to work this stuff, right? Nope. All right. So as you guys can see, it says a man that refuses to learn from a woman is a fool. And a woman who has nothing to teach him is even more so. So why am I saying that? I cannot sit on this show or with anybody that I know, especially men, and not have something to offer and something to teach. And so I'm saying that is because of the conversation that Gary and I have had about, you know, some of the things, calling women names and all of that. It is my job as a woman and a woman on this show to educate the men around me. And the second part of that, so the first part of that is a man who refuses to learn from a woman is a fool. And so Gary took what I said and he took it to heart and he said he was not going to do it. And he hasn't done it since, right? And so we often like to demonize people in the Black community, right? We like to do that a lot. Oops. So most of you guys probably know who that is, right? Y'all know who that is? I'll tell you who it is. It's Malcolm X. It's Malcolm X when he was doing some things he wasn't supposed to be doing. Some things, you know, pimping women and, you know, drugs and just a whole host of things before he ended up going in and doing almost a 10-year bid in prison. That was Malcolm Little. And this is who we know now as the very esteemed, honorable Malcolm X, who was about Black liberation and saving Black people. But the picture I showed you before, that's not who he was about. And so he was able to change the way he thought and the things that he did. All right. Because I got a whole lot of stuff, right? And so some of you guys are probably like, well, what the hell is she talking about? Let me drop this other video. So bear with me here. Because I want to make sure it's the right one. Because there's a lot going on here, but I won't show you the whole thing. So just give me a moment. I think this is it. Let's see. Hopefully this is it. If not, we'll change it. All right. Gary, can you go ahead and put that on the screen, if you will? All right. So bear with me here. So this first part of this video you're going to see is why this came up in the first place. Now, this is the Critical Show. This was actually sent to me. So this is the Critical Show, and you guys just pay attention for the first 2 minutes at the most. I won't show you the whole thing, so just bear with me here.
Discussing, because this one particular individual is blatantly disrespecting our Black women, constantly call them bitches and hoes, and all that. But let me say this first before I get into that. My views are my views. They are not the views of Street 100, the Heat, the company, or has anything to do with the company whatsoever. These are my views. Okay, so I've been getting calls for the past 3 or 4 days about a particular individual, that Gary Monroe, blatantly disrespecting our Black women, steady calling them bitches and hoes and jawbone and all kind of unnecessary shit, so when I'm constantly hearing.
All right, let's stop right there. Okay. Now, he invoked the word jawbone, which you also agreed that you would not say anymore, and you have not said it anymore from the point that we had a conversation. Now, I will say that I've received quite a few inboxes, if you will, from certain women who shall remain nameless. I don't think they're really important in the larger scheme of things, but they were trying to call me to task or call me to the carpet and saying, well, how could you hang out with Gary for saying, he's saying this and that about women and he's calling women jawbones? And I asked them both. I said, well, weren't you hanging around Gary at the time he was calling this woman this word? And they said, yes. So I said, well, so where is the problem now? We'll get into that in a little bit. I just wanted to just kind of bring that to you guys as remembrance. All right, so let's continue on here.
Hearing this, and these women are calling my phone and in my inbox because they want me to shut this shit down, because how in the hell you supposed to be any type of OG, 5-star general, any whatever the fuck you want to be, disrespect our Black women and want to be called the OG?
Well, here's the thing. I did my job, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I always do my job.
Yeah.
If I see something, I give a report. I did that. People saying true. That ain't true. And I'm hearing this from my brothers from out of town that know.
That's right.
Let me tell y'all something, man. And because he says he's an activist, and thank you for answering that question. So I'm gonna speak on behalf of the activists. All right, we're not perfect, but damn it, we got it down. We got standards. Certain things we just don't do. Me being a Monte Temple, no, I'm not this famous person, neither do I wish to be. But being that I work in the community and I educate brothers and I educate kids and I do all this Black empowerment shit, right? So I'm not finna go look my sister in the face who I call Mother Earth, Queen of the Universe, and all this other stuff, and say, bitch.
Yeah.
You just called her a female animal, a female canine.
Mm-hmm. You know, and he just didn't go about calling these women out their name. Mm-hmm. He went as far as posting their phone number with their picture on there. You know, because you know he got his yeah.
Well, see, that's some people like me need to go knock on his door.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. He do a lot of that crap is because he don't live down here in Houston. He stays in Dallas. That's why.
So he could be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he could be fine.
Shout out to Bob Mawala, the Huey Gun Club in Dallas, Texas. We need to have a discussion. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So leave it up there, Gary. So y'all heard all of that, and that was pretty much the gist of this conversation. Gary, really quick, I want to ask you: did you ever go about putting women's phone numbers and stuff like that up?
I have never put up a picture with nobody's phone number on it in the history of me being on Facebook or social media, and I've been on since 2010. I would never post somebody's phone number. That is a blatant, flat out lie.
So
as far as, calling out somebody in Dallas, Texas, because one brother, you got the wrong information. But you called them out in Dallas, Texas. So not only am I going to call them out in Dallas, Texas, I'm going to get you some company from Oklahoma City at the same time. Now, what you need to understand is I did not post anybody's name, phone number, nothing. I had no reason to do that. I did not post it. And I don't delete anything from my Facebook. So everything that's on there has been on there and it's not coming off.
So the reason I'm asking that is because it sounds like somewhere the wires have gotten crossed, because he's saying that certain people, and he never said who it was, but they're inboxing him this information saying that you are doing those things. And so I just wanted to get that from you. And yes, I saw in the comments, somebody says that sounds like a threat. That is a threat. That ain't no sound like a threat. That is a threat. And I don't know the gentleman who actually said that, but he very clearly said that we need to go see him. Shout out to Huey P. Newton Gun Club, I guess maybe Dallas or somewhere. Did y'all hear that as well?
Let me say this here about the threat. I've never walked out of my home, whether a kid or an adult, and have to do like this. I never have to walk out and put my head on a swivel. But I also know that peons, people that are beneath me, do not deserve a response from me. I also am removed. God, thank you, removed from a lifestyle that required me to be a true guerrilla in the streets. So as I travel and I touch down on different runways, when I touch down, I'm already connected. So am I afraid of Dallas? No, I tell you what you need to worry about. Won't you worry about Terrell, Texas? Won't you worry about Balch Springs, Texas? I got them all around you, bro. Not just in Dallas. And we can dip into Dallas. We got South Dallas covered. See, what I'm saying is my street connections run deep. I'm not worried about these dudes, but, all this about what you gonna do. Here's my thing. Stop talking about it and be about it.
Wait, just save it. And Donovan, there's a, hold on a second. There is a Jay Peters in this comment section. They're claiming they know me. They don't know me. I have a feeling I know what's going on, but can you follow that and see where that goes? Who page that actually belongs to? Thank you.
Well, I've been on that, watching him right now. So, matter of fact, I'm inviting him on the show since he's hiding behind his keyboard and being a keyboard gangsta. You're just a little, you're just a little bitty woman. So he should have no problem as a man coming out and addressing his issue with you.
Donovan, I'm smarter than the average bear. I know exactly what is going on, but I want you to see who that is exactly, and I know you can do that. So we'll see. So anyway, let's finish this video up, right? So the reason that I'm talking about this from my perspective is because I was brought into this whole conversation. Give me a second. Here we go.
A bad name.
It is.
Like,
You know, and for his co-hosts that are on his show, for even that woman, to Demetria, to sit there and listen to it, she ain't no motherfucking better.
She's contributing to it.
Exactly.
Actually, she said silence is actually confirmation that this what this asshole says is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Check that right
there. It's no different if the police out here fucking one of our people up, right, and it's one of our people on the law force, on the law end, and they ain't doing the motherfucker. Right. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing.
So like I said, we can't.
All right, so to close this one out. So that's why I brought it up, because like I said, they weren't the first people to bring up my loyalty to women. But that came to me, so I felt like I needed to address it. So as I said earlier, I don't need to tell everybody what I discussed with Gary. I don't need to do that. I know that I had the conversation. And the other thing is this, see, a lot of people don't know exactly what it is I do, but Donovan and Gary know what I do. And I'm able to connect the dots. And what this is a situation of some people have gotten disgruntled for whatever reason. I'm not saying Gary is a saint. I'm sure he's done some things, but these particular people I know who's behind this, they have fell out and they want to drag me into it and try to have me make a move. But I don't work like that. I have my own mind. I don't share the mind of the crowd. I know how to think for myself. But the other thing is, now all of a sudden, you mad, but wasn't you standing up there with him when he was calling people out their names? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I forgot I have one more other video. Bear with me. Hold on. Hold your horses. I got one I need you to share.
I love your videos tonight. They're so informative.
I'm glad you like them. Okay. Shut up. Y'all listen, please listen very closely. On this particular video, this is when Gary was in the studio. It says Street 100, right? And I'm assuming was critical on that particular radio show when you guys were talking about R. Kelly.
Yes, he was.
Okay, please turn everything off. I want you to be able to hear this very clear.
Gary say, I kept the shirt with his semen on it. Bitch, who keep a shirt for 20 years with some nut on it?
Hold up. I'm trying to get it just right. Here we go. One more time.
Bitch, who keep a shirt for...
Did y'all hear what I heard? Did y'all hear the B word being said by Gary with Critical sitting in the studio? I just want to make sure it just wasn't me. Y'all heard it, right? So you mean to tell me, Gary, that you've used the B word in front of Critical before and he didn't go mount up the posse? He didn't go invoke the Huey P. Newton Gun Club and whoever the guy's name is? He didn't go do all of that when you used that word then?
No, he didn't use it. Actually, he co-signed on top of it.
So what I'm trying to get you guys to see here is Hypocritical, because that's now his new name. Hypocritical has an agenda. And from when I was talking to Gary, it sounds like you and him fell out because Cynthia Bailey is actually his people. That's his cousin.
According to him, when the issue came up with Cynthia Bailey and me finding out that she was involved with $254,000 missing from North Forest ISD back in the day, he told me that Cynthia Bailey was his cousin. So now all of a sudden, months later, here we go with this foolishness. So he's had his panties in a bunch ever since I exposed his cousin.
So there you have it. Hypocritical has tried to mount this campaign against Gary. He needs to be taken down, destroyed, and in some respects, it sounds like he needs to be done away with. I won't put complete words in the gentleman's mouth, but you guys all heard it. And at the end of the video, you guys can go to Critical's page if you want. Her name is Gerald Evans or something. It's under that name. You guys can go watch the whole video, but he's mounted this campaign that Gary needs to be destroyed due to him calling Black women bitches and hoes, which again, he said he was not going to do, and he hasn't since. But he sat there in the studio on September 25th, 2019, as they were discussing the R. Kelly case and talking about some of these women, and he heard Gary say the B word, and he didn't flinch. He didn't go get a rope or none of that other stuff. To me, that sounds very hypocritical of him. And so I would like to say to the other man, his name escapes my mind, it's an Egyptian name or something like that. Don't allow people to use you. You sat up there and allowed Critical to help gin up the mob, and you were leading the mob. You about to go get a rope and go take Gary out. Well, why don't you start right there within the studio? Why don't you go talk to Critical? Because he didn't have a problem when Gary used the word then. But you allowed this man Critical to use you and perhaps have your integrity come under fire because you sat there on that video and threatened Gary twice. You threatened him twice. And so you've allowed yourself to be put in a position and you didn't have all the facts. You didn't have all the facts you needed, and you went on and made this threat on the World Wide Web. The internet is forever, baby. And so I personally don't have a dog in the fight, but I don't like my name being brought up when you don't know the full story. And within this video, all this rah-rah is going on. Well, I wonder, did Critical reach out to Gary and say, hey, man, I have a problem with you calling women bitches and hoes? You didn't reach out to me and say, well, hey, I don't know you. I've never talked to you, but do you mind having a conversation with Gary? And these women that came to me, I told them it is wrong to call women that, and I don't condone that, and that I've had a conversation with Gary. And I haven't heard from those women since, so I know who is behind this. I've been able to connect the dots. And so I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't know, if we need to continue talking about this, but I wanted to expose to you guys a hypocrite. And a lot of times people have an axe to grind, they have an agenda, and they will use everybody else to get their point across. Gary, I'm gonna give you the floor.
I want to say that I appreciate you for connecting them dots to find out that all I did was tell the truth. So I appreciate you connecting them dots. I also want to reiterate to you and Donovan, as I did before we came on the air, that you don't have to do this. You don't have to defend me. But I think you decided that you would defend your co-host as well as your friend because I came under attack. Now, I want people to understand, because of who I am, and you two guys, you, Demetri and Donovan, you're just getting wind of me. Because of what I do, I expect those attacks. I expect them. I embrace them. I do what I need to do. I don't know if you got the article that I sent you for Little Sir Romeo. Do you have that in your queue anywhere?
I don't have it in my queue, but
okay. Well, while I'm this bad guy on the show with Critical and he has all these things to say about me, Critical, you sat next to me for almost a whole year on this show. My views have never changed. The way that I talk has never changed. You never had a problem with it. You've never had a problem with it. I think the problem came in when you decided to go and get on a show with somebody I had broken up with on another show. That showed me that your level of loyalty is it's no longer street, that you don't even have basic loyalty about you. Because if I sit on a show with Donovan and Demetri, I'm not going to go jump on another show and go against them. That's not going to happen. I don't care what they offer me. I don't care what it is. It's a level of loyalty. So since then, I think what you're more upset about is the idea that was tossed around for a show during the pandemic has taken legs of its own. We never tried to duplicate what you guys have done on these other podcasts. What we did is we did us. And every night we come on, I say the same thing. Man, I got these two intelligent African Americans up here sitting with a crazy man. Now, people want to ask me, you know, you say some tough things about women. I want you to understand one thing, that a woman is a queen who wears a crown. So when you allow your crown to fall off your head and touch the ground and you start acting like a bee, they're going to talk to you like one and they're going to treat you like one. I don't wake up in the morning looking to fight black women, but I'm damn sure not going to let a black woman just punch me in my face for no apparent reason. And I don't do or say anything about it. That's not going to happen. So I'm saying this to say that hypocritical, you are what you are. That is your new name. And I'm going to tell you, after tonight, you will no longer be able to use this platform. Vanicia Johnson, Mary Courtney, all of you people that's in cahoots, you will not use this platform not one more night. Whatever videos you want to send out of me, send them out. I can battle. I can handle the storm. Now, let me ask you a question. I sent you a picture of me in the hospital. You got that picture? Can you put that up for him? Does that work? You don't know how to do all the technical stuff you do over there. I want to show you guys something. See, she about to put it up for y'all.
Is it the video or the picture?
No, just the pic. Remember the one with me and the guy and I'm laying in the hospital bed? You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She got it.
Okay, give me 1 second.
All right. But I'm not gonna stoop down to these cats' level. And then I'm gonna tell y'all why, because it's a joke. This is really like a big ass joke to me.
Okay.
Do y'all see this picture? I was standing in a boardroom fighting for some children. I didn't know at the time that my stomach was poisoned. It was septic. And I want y'all to understand, because this is the first time my baby is on this show. She's here every night. I'm not going to tell you her name, but this is the first time she got to see her father looking like this here. And then she did come see me in the hospital. But I went into the hospital, left the board meeting, and I was in the hospital for 23 days. You can take it down, Demetri. I can take it down. I was in the hospital for 23 days. But before I went in that night, I was battling for some kids that nobody gave a damn about. And I stayed in there 23 days. Before they rolled me into surgery, I was on Facebook. Y'all, I'm going to be okay. When I came out of surgery, stomach cut wide open. That cut was, you see my hand? That cut was about that long. Everything cut wide open. And when I got out of surgery, I'm back trying to battle from my hospital bed. I know you guys don't like me. I know what drives you right now is the fact that you are a failure. You wanted to do this podcast thing. But in my Ice Cube voice, we started this podcast in this And thanks we get. We started this. So no matter how you do it, you will never be as good as what we do. You want to know why? If Demetri and Donovan said today that they are gone, we're not dealing with you, Mr. Monroe. Well, I tell you what, I'm finna pull a Bobby Brown. I'm gonna go quadruple platinum by myself. I love my co-host with everything in my fiber. But you people that are out there, one, you have no life. Two, you're broke. The pandemic is killing y'all. It's killing you. And to see the success that we've had on the war zone, that bothers you. To see me go from just talking about George Floyd to standing on the block where he was, that bothers you. To see me come back and honor a promise to help build an organization, to help better this community, that bothers you. To see me in any capacity, it bothers you because you're a failure. You are a failure. So I want to tell this to my sisters. He calling people jawbone. Did you have a clue before I ever started that this woman was going around to formal events, semi-formal events, calling me fat MFs? For what reason? Because I'm trying to expose a rogue cop. So I'm fat MFs. My mama didn't raise a fat MF. When you said it, you tilted that crown and it fell on the ground. Now you fair game. I think you had the opportunity today to speak to some people from what me and you discussed. You spoke with some people. And those people said, I don't pick fights. Gary Monroe doesn't pick fights, especially with women. I'd rather you bring your husband to the party. You feel me? I'd rather you bring your husband to the party. But if you want a man to respect you as a queen, you stay in a queen's place. You stay in a queen's place. But you know what? And then Donovan, I want you to chime in. Nobody has a problem when I'm exposing white folk, when I'm dragging white people. You only have a problem when I expose these black dirty. You try to defend them with all your power. You never, well, you're not consistent. Like I heard him say on that same video that I go to schools and I promote kids doing, unruly things. You're a lie. If I could get all them principals on this phone where I didn't try to build PTAs, PTOs, where I donated my own money, where I went around and gave away Rockets tickets and gave away Texan tickets to the teachers of the year. Ain't nobody gave me that. When I gave little Romeo a Christmas, a 4-year-old kid that was shot by M16. Where was you hypocritical people at? Where were you at when I stood in them school board meetings and didn't know I was dying? I didn't know I was dying. Where were you at? And you have the audacity to ever come into my lane, in my space, to want to hold me accountable for holding a crooked cop accountable. Something is wrong with you, and this is why, white America, you have no problems with ever worrying about if we're going to fix us. Because this is the reason we can't. When they scream crabs in a barrel, they talking about everybody that done put this foolishness out. Now, honestly, I didn't want to address this. My friends say we gonna address it. So I'm gonna rock with my friends, man. But if you a lady and you curse me, I'm gonna curse you back. And that's what it boils down to. If you a dude And I would respect it more if Hypocritical would either pick up the phone or meet me like a man. But the games you play, homie, you in violation. And you can walk around here with a concealed handgun license all you want. But the streets is a different breed of dog. It's a different breed. And right now, you dudes are really in violation of the streets. Now, you two are my friends. I have the honor of sitting with you every night. I have friends that watch every single night. Be careful what you wish for.
Absolutely, in that thing. So in regards to that, it's just really sad that, you know, you can talk about Trump, you can talk about Republicans, you can talk about white supremacists and what they're doing and what this person's doing. But then when you use the same exact standard for our own people, there's a problem. I mean, which is it? We got to make a decision. We can't be wishy-washy in the direction we want to go. Is the 5-star perfect? Don't think so. Am I perfect? Don't think so. Demetrius close to perfect. I'm not. Al's watching. I don't want to get into all that. But we have to stop worrying about the BS and the drama. We got less than 12 years from zero. Now, what happened to Jerry and his falling out and stuff? And that happens. That happens in all kinds of groups and stuff. I mean, golly, who knew the Commodores were going to break up? Who knew? But it happens. It happens. And for some reason, the guy goes on to a solo career and maybe eclipses what they need to eclipse. Hey, be good. We got a brother on here right now, Damian Jones from the Damian Jones podcast. I might not agree with them all the time, but I will never, ever say what that brother's doing is wrong, because as a collective, we got to come together. Demetrius Smith, same thing. As a collective, we got to come together. But I can tell you from this brother, with his passion and what he wants to do, I'm not saying I'm looking past his faults. I'm saying I'm focused on his work, and that's what we got to stay focused on.
Let me say this real quick. Before Gary Monroe showed up, all these perfect people were there. They did it their way. And we got nothing out the deal. They were closing black schools left and right, politicians disrespecting us, and in through the front door, because I don't come through the back, comes Gary Monroe, who's just fed up and he's tired, and I'm not taking it no more. And ever since I came through the front door, a whole lot of things have changed. A whole lot of things have changed. And that fight has been there every single day that we've done it. But these same people, they were not there with me fighting. They knew when those meetings were. Where were they? And if I'm such a misogynist, because I call women, I give you an example. Ann Sung, school board member. I said Ann Sung needed some butt pads from Walmart. I went off, and I've never apologized for it. Why did you go off, Mr. Monroe? I was appointed to a special ed ad hoc committee in the Houston Independent School District. This lady tried to get armed police officers in the room with me, acting like she was afraid of me. Now, this is somebody I've never had a conversation with. The Houston Police Department refused to send an armed officer. HISD said, we are not putting an armed officer in that meeting. And the Harris County Sheriff's Department declined to do it too. I felt that by you asking for an armed officer, you were endangering my life. You were putting my life in jeopardy. I had already been surrounded in a board meeting by 6 cops. So yeah, I went smooth off. So did I hear anybody talking about men's lib? What about the He Too movement? You tried to put a cop in a room with me with a gun for no reason. So you damn right I said what I said, and I didn't apologize for it. But I will tell y'all that if I ever feel I'm wrong, I will apologize. Wanda Adams, school board rep, they say, man, this man go hard on you, Wanda. But did y'all ever know that whenever I go in the hospital, Wanda Adams is the first one to call me? Wanda Adams calls me right now just to check on my health. We battle because we know it's business. It ain't never personal. But you know what? I felt I disrespected Wanda in a board meeting one night. So the very next month, I stood at that podium in front of that whole room full of people, and I apologized to that black woman. Don't get it twisted. I know how to handle me. But you dudes, y'all some suckers, man. I'm sorry, Demetri.
Nah, it is what it is. And I want to say, Pam, I can't say her last name. It looks like it's one that's made up. But she says, Demetri and Donovan, you guys have more important things to talk about than always about drama. Well, first of all, we don't always talk about drama, but I think these things need to be addressed because Black people in our community, we have a lot of things to do, bigger fish to fry. And there's always somebody, and I say this all the time, revolutionaries rarely have friends. Revolutionaries don't have friends because there's always somebody trying to destroy the movement, whatever the movement is, whatever's going on. I've been doing it to Marcus since Marcus Garvey's days. Brought him down, and the whole entire organization, he was trying to rescue Black people. And it was one of us that took down him and his organization. But at some point in time, we just got to get rid of the bullshit because it is a waste of time. We've all had our time wasted enough. And that's why I said, let's put this to bed so we can get to the bag. At the end of the day, I want to continue to make money every day. And I know my co-hosts want to make money every day. We bring people on here, such as my brother, Walter Coulter, who tries to help people make money every day. As Donovan says, Black people, we are out of time. We are less than 12 years from being a slave. It is going to take us 232 years to close the wealth gap of us as Black people having an average wealth of $17,000, is probably less than that, to that of white people that have $171,000. Us talking about this nonsense and people being hypocritical and all that is not getting us to the bag. None of this is making us any money at all. And we as Black people have got to stop being our own worst enemy. We always fall for the banana in the tailpipe, the gutter, just the stuff that's petty and it's like not helping us make any moves as a people. This is not what I do. This is not what I do at all. But anytime somebody brings my name up, I want to defend myself. I'm a public relations professional. That's what I do by profession. And so I'm not going to allow somebody to form a narrative on me that is false. But I tell you what, I've been paid big money to do it to other people, and rightfully so. And so from this moment on, we are going to talk about things that matter if it's all right with you. And so there are some things other than that nonsense going on. And if you guys wanted to finish up with that, go ahead. But I was going to transition into something else that the people need to know.
I just want to finish up and say that until God calls me home, I'm going to keep exposing y'all. Until God calls me home, I'm going to keep giving you names. The only thing I'm going to say, Demetri and Donovan, look me in the eye real quick. Be careful what you wish for. Because I do not walk out my house scared. I do not walk out afraid. And if I ever feel like I have to address it, I'm going to pull up on you. Because I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. So, hypocritical, if you died tomorrow, you'd have a couple of your homies at your funeral. Venicia, Mary Courtney, you'd have a couple of people there. Gary Monroe gonna be standing room only. Might be a whole bunch of kids there. Because I left it on the floor for many years. I don't know why God chose me for the assignment. Because maybe honestly, it's true. He give his toughest assignments to his toughest soldiers. He knew who he had to give this assignment to. Now, I will talk to him on this. He didn't give me no instructions. So I just do it the best way that I can do it. But as far as getting to the bag, that's what we need to be focused on. So you people keep sending your inboxes, keep doing what you do. But if you ever send that one video of me with a man, you might shock the world. The thing is, you never will. So if that's the best that you can do, at least I got to give Ben Becker credit. He at least was strategic when they wrote the op-ed on me. They did it while I was in surgery. You Negroes are sloppy, bro. This was just so easy to figure out. You Negroes are sloppy, dog. We got to get to the money, man.
Right, exactly. I just want to say real quick, a local troll, Texas troll, Jay Peters, he's going ham on one of my pages, and I put his comment up, and I commented on it, and you want to post my family on the live, then block me. You a coward. I'll drop my location all day for you. Stop hiding, you pussy. I'm right here. I asked you to come on the show. But isn't it funny that when you get trolled, all of a sudden your panties drop? Damn. Come on the show, brother. You got something to say? I'm an equal opportunity type person. Don't let this pretty face fool you. I can't wait to put my hands on other people. And Demetra knows that I've been saying it for years. I would love it. This is your family. Beautiful family, by the way. But if you're going to be trolling, know who you're trolling against. Everything is fair game. This is your lucky family. And you out here playing gangster? Come on, dog.
So here's the thing. Jay, you must know me. Why you ain't going ham on me? I'ma just say I'm like Jesus, Demetra. I'm like God. I'm in Minnesota and I can reach out and touch you, boy. I'm in Minnesota and I can reach out and touch you. I can touch you, boy. It ain't what you want.
And just in closing, Mr. Peters, I'm not hard to find. I'm right here near March Air Force Base. All you got to do is say, I'm looking for the Duke of Edgemont. Everybody will know who you're talking about. And they will actually escort you to my front yard. Anytime, just let me know when you're in town. Matter of fact, I'll pick you up at Ontario Airport. Or is it the bus station? Whichever one it is, hey, brother, anytime, any place. And I'm not talking gangster stuff. You want to meet me? You're always welcome to come out.
So that's that.
Can we stop doing the broke conversations and get to the money?
Absolutely. So I just want to just finish and piggyback off of what Donovan said. And they don't know either one of us very well. You know, it's like it's all fun and games to be a troll until you get trolled. This is what we do. So anyway, let's leave that all behind. Hopefully we can all be friends from this point. And so I just want to, the next couple of minutes that we are here, we could talk about you stupid. For the next couple of minutes that we're here, I don't know if you guys saw, I guess somewhere Joe Biden says that Trump is the first racist president. Trump is the first racist president. That came from Joe Biden, who is leading in the polls to the tune of what, 15% in some polls. Some people are, woo, Joe Biden's going to be the next president. And this man is sitting up there talking about Trump is the first racist president. Really?
I got a question. When has there not been a racist president?
Never. I mean, but that just really illustrates how out of touch he is. And we, as Black people, are going to push this man into the White House. And the only recollection he has of a racist president is that of President Trump. That is very telling as how out of touch he is. I mean, hell, Kermit the Frog know there was way more racist presidents in the White House than Trump. Racism didn't start with Trump. But, you know, Biden is using those racial dog whistles, if you will, to try to appeal to Black people. Well, you know, Trump is the first racist president, so I need y'all to help me get him out of there, right? But I'm just asking, you know, us as Black people, why would you want somebody in the White House who doesn't even recognize? I mean, hell, Thomas Jefferson, Woodrow Wilson, you name them, all of them have done something racist. Abe Lincoln, that, you know, they tell a lie about Abe Lincoln. Oh, he freed the slaves. He freed the slaves if it meant keeping the Union together. He did not want that schism between the unions in the United States. He said it doesn't make me a difference. He wasn't freeing the slaves because he loved Black people. He was doing it to save the Union. So even President Lincoln was racist. But this man is talking about Trump is the first racist in the White House. Really? And this is who y'all gonna go send to the White House. Why?
Throw him in, Joe. Seems like he got Alzheimer's. Seems like he's at the beginning phases of Alzheimer's. And I really think they need to take him over to PetSmart and get him a checkup.
So I'm just asking a question. You know, anybody want to answer it? Why is it that we're so bent on just sending? And I get it, you know, it's that narrative, well, we got to get Trump out of there. I've seen people say, I'd vote for a peanut. I'd vote for my 5-year-old. I'd vote for anybody as long as we get Trump out of office. And again, I'm not voting for Trump. I don't think Trump is a good guy either. But, you know, we have to be careful of who we're going to send into the White House. And so Joe Biden has made a lot of statements that are very telling. One of them was that if you're not Black, if you don't vote for him. And now he's saying that, you know, Trump is the first racist president. He's also saying that he wants to actually give more money to the police. He's against defunding the police. He's also against reparations for Black people, although he has this Lift Every Voice plan or whatever, but it's really a bunch of nonsense. So Joe Biden, out of his own mouth, is telling us as Black people how he feels about us, and we continue to defend him. And so I'm just trying to get a feel for why. Like, what is it? I get it. Like I said, Trump is a horrible dude, but are we going to replace Trump with somebody who's just as bad?
You know, I get confused because when they bring up Biden, they say, well, he was just the vice president when Obama was there. He couldn't do anything. So does it really matter if he picks a Black woman to be his vice president? Because she ain't going to do a goddamn thing either. Joe Biden ain't going to do a goddamn thing. Trust me when I tell you. Joe Biden is a closet racist. At least Trump is an open one.
Donovan?
You know, and that's the question I've been asking. That's the question I've been asking a lot of people. You know, a lot of the backbone of the Democratic Party are Black women. You know, they love to, you know, have that mantra. Okay, even if he does, which I don't think he's going to select a Black woman as his running mate because he's a Dixiecrat. Even if he does, what's going to change for us? What's going to be any different? You know, he's vice president, Black woman. Okay, great. Yay. What's going to change? He's still going to do DACA day 1. He's still going to do Dreamers day 2 or whatever. What are we going to get out of the deal? Having a Black woman as a vice president or anybody Black, what's going to change for us? What do we get out of the deal? That's what I want to know. And nobody seems to answer that. Symbolism. I've been talking about Demetra about symbolism. We are so caught up in it. Oh, look, there's a Black woman. She's a vice president. Okay. That's great. What do we get? Not a goddamn thing.
And you know, he's also kind of backtracked a little bit on that, saying, well, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna select a black a woman of color for VP, a black woman for a vice president. So it's like up until then, he kind of alluded to it. Yeah, you know, sure, I'd entertain it. But I think somewhere, and you know, the crazy part is he has a lot of black advisors, senior advisors, and I don't know if they're, you know, if they're steering him into doing some of the things he's doing, but I think he just got hip to the fact that I don't really have to give them Negroes anything. They're going to vote for me regardless. I can lie to them like we always do and say, well, you know, I thought about picking a black woman VP, but I found, you know, because y'all remember he was parading Amy Klobuchar around for a while, but then everybody tanked the possibility of her because they talked about her record as a DA and her actually harming black people, black young boys. That you guys heard about the young boy she helped send to prison for the rest of his life over a crime he didn't do. And so she tapped out. She's like, I don't think I'm fit to be VP. And so we don't know who he's going to tap, but I don't think it's going to be a black woman. I think that was his way of saying, well, you know, get ready, black people. I'm not going to pick a black woman for your VP after all. So, but again, I think he knows that we'll go ahead and vote for him anyway. Donovan?
Absolutely. You know, it's just, you know, we're in the 21st century, and you know, everybody says I really go hard against baby boomers because that's our parents' generation. And I always say this when it comes to the baby boomers, and you know, God bless them because they did the best that they could with what they knew they should do. For them, equality was being able to eat in a white restaurant. Equality for them was being able to go shop in a white store, to go shit next to a white person in a nice bathroom stall. That was their, you know, epic thing. But that baton stopped right there. And for 60 years, it really has not moved. And so it's up to really not us, because Generation Xers leadership has completely jumped over us. It's up to these millennials and Generation Yers to take that baton and do it a different way. Nonviolence does not get any respect. These guys are using the exact same playbook they used in the 60s. And we have our baby boomers, some of you guys' grandparents, are saying, oh, well, you got to be nonviolent. You cannot be nonviolent and walk up to somebody nonviolently and they got a club in their hand. We have to keep our eye on the prize. We have to meet force with force. Why is it that when the United States uses force, it's justified for our interests, but when we use force, oh, well, you guys got to be nonviolent. You guys got to, you know, take your time. Do you guys realize that ever since George Floyd's death, may he rest in peace, more has been done to curb police brutality and just the thought of the racial issues that are going on in America just within these last couple of months, than 60-something years. I mean, just think about that. And these people weren't even elected. These aren't elected people. These are people that said, you know, we had enough. This is it. Well, so, I mean, we've got to, you know, take the ball and move it forward.
They got movement, not because of George Floyd. This is just my opinion. We got some movement because them youngsters was tearing up and burning up everything. They didn't give a damn about George Floyd. They didn't give a damn about Sandra Bland. Y'all know where I'm going with. They didn't give a damn about Eric Garner. But for once, this wasn't an isolated situation of rioting. The country popped off. They had no choice but to address it. But now that George is in the ground, and God bless him, and God bless Breonna and all these good people, the real work has to be done. And Biden has nothing in his plan to help us get it done. I'm sorry. I wish if it was another time I could possibly think about it, but I can't. I know where Biden is from. I know what he truly represents. And I can't bite on it. I just can't do it. And I recommend you don't either.
And I want to use this comment here from Billy Young. He says, whoever it is, you still apply pressure and hold them accountable. Well, when are we going to start doing that? And why wait till a person gets in there to hold them accountable? Why not hold them accountable now? You know, if we all got on the same page now and said, hey, we're not voting for anybody unless they bring forth a Black agenda and actually execute it, then we're not going to vote. Why do we need to put somebody in there to continue to lie to us? Malcolm X called them the lying liberals because they continuously lie to us. And he says that any Black person that votes for the lying liberals are a traitor to your race because they're not going to show you anything different. They say, oh, well, let's apply pressure once you get in there. How? How are we going to apply pressure? Make him give us something in a promise of something. He's promised everybody else something. Donovan just told you, Biden said on day one, he's going to push for DACA. He's going to make roughly 11 million illegal immigrants, if you will, legal. That's what he's going to do on day one. He's also going to do LGBTQ stuff on day one. What is he going to do for Black people? Is he going to sign a check, a reparations check for Black people on day one? No, he's not going to do that because we're not asking him to. We just want to get old Joe in there to get rid of Trump.
Well, have we ever thought that's what we get out the deal?
Right.
They get things that affect them realistically, but all we want is Trump out. So it's sort of like Willie Brown at the crossroads with the devil. Remember, he told the devil, he said, I didn't have no riches and fame. The devil said, that ain't what you asked me for. You asked me to be the greatest blues singer in the world. And I made you that. That ain't come with no money and fame. So in this game of politics, all we asking is to get Trump out. We ain't asking for nothing else. So Joe, by us going cast them votes for Joe, he's honored what we've asking for. He don't owe us nothing else.
But, you know, I want everybody to think about this. He's going to do for people that are insignificant in him getting to the White House. So that, you know, that would be almost like saying, okay, you went to your parents and they're the ones that are going to give you the car, right? They're going to buy you a brand new car, but you're going to give all the credit to your girlfriend's parents. You see the correlation to that? It's like, okay, so he's going to reward people that aren't going to get him to the White House, but the people that he needs to get him to the White House, he's going to shit on and do absolutely nothing for it.
I can't put Alana's comments up, and Alana is saying a lot over here, and I can't put it all up. So if y'all can, I'm going to read her comment. We out here fighting for our lives, our white allies, and other non-Black kids are putting their lives on the line for us. And of course, she's a good person and you know, one of them people that support Biden. The war zone is our platform, and we all have different political views on the war zone. It's nothing that you can tell us. I'm trying to make you understand it. We're not going to support Joe Biden. And I know a lot of y'all are afraid of this platform, that are Democrats or support the Democrats, or you might need to go build up another platform. Because this one is not going to support Joe Biden. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And it's okay if y'all are out there fighting, you and the white allies. But what the hell are you fighting for, and what have you gotten out the deal so far? Why don't these politicians just go in there and do what they supposed to do? But think about it. You youngsters who say y'all controlling the war, y'all don't want to vote. Y'all ain't helping us get the right people in there. So really, you're hurting the situation more than you're helping it.
Yeah, and so I see a lot of people saying, well, so, you know, what do we basically get another 4 years of Trump? So what? Black people have been going through hell for almost 500 years in America. And y'all worried about 4 more years. You know, black people are the most resilient thing on earth. We are survivors, and y'all let these people be these Democrats, Joe and them, scare y'all into thinking Trump is going to, you know, be the end of black people. What Trump is going to do, if he does get another 4 years, is going to force black people to realize that all we have is each other. Nobody's going to come save us but us. If they wanted to save black people, they had the power to do it years ago. And I know a lot of people don't like you to say anything about Obama. On the surface, I like Obama. But Obama didn't do anything for black people either. And if there was ever a chance for black people to be saved politically or by political power, that was Obama's turn to do so. He had 8 years to help his people, but he did not do that. He helped everybody else. And so you guys are running around here scared, shivering, talking about what's going to happen with another 4 years of Trump. What's going to happen is we're going to get our stuff together and do what we got to do to move the ball forward. Biden is not going to do that for you. And stop with the nonsense. Oh, well, Biden's going to put a black Supreme Court justice, a female. No, he's not. Because him and Obama had the chance to do it at least twice. And they didn't do it during their administration. Biden's already waffling on the fact that he's going to have a black female VP. So what makes you think he's going to go and nominate a black Supreme Court justice, a woman? He's giving you no guarantees he's going to do that. But you want me? I'm not partisan, and I'm going to stay that way, especially on the federal level, until one of them go in there and tell me they're going to do something for me as a black woman. Until then, I am going to hold my vote.
Well, let me ask a question, and I want everybody to do it. Post the name of your congressperson or your senator. Post it right now. If you don't post it, I'm going to delete y'all off my page. Off my personal page, I'm going to delete you. Post your congressperson or your senator right now. You don't do it, I promise you I'm going to delete you. I agree with you totally on what you just said. Joe Biden is all smoke and mirrors. It's what it is, and people don't want to hear that. And I don't understand. We can't survive 4 years of Trump. You just did. Now you're sitting at home during a pandemic. If you're getting unemployment, making more money than you were making at your job. And the ones of us that really need to work, we can't. We can't work. But you're winning right now. You're winning. Joe Biden is who he is, man. And when it's all said and done, he gonna show you again who he is if he wins. And we ain't getting nothing out the deal. You know, I think tomorrow, can we talk about this here? And I'm just saying, throwing it out there, but I'm gonna give it to Donovan. Yeah. Are you in favor of continuing to pay taxes for illegal immigrants who are refusing to get their paperwork in order? Why should we have to keep supporting people that don't want to do what they need to do? Now, I know I'm going to make some people mad with that. I don't care. These people are getting more help than anything. In Harris County, they created a whole separate fund during the pandemic. Millions of dollars. What about black folk? But see, when we say black, what about black folk? We being racist. But you're taking care of different races. I'm not for that, man. You know, everybody get mad, and then you better not say nothing bad in front of a Latino about Mexico. Because they will cut you everywhere except under the bottom of your feet. And if that's the case, then why you keep sneaking up out of there?
Exactly. You know, here in California, they gave the illegal residents, Mexicans, and others, 230 million of your tax dollars. Just giving the people who aren't even citizens here. They're here illegally. And don't get me wrong, nobody wants to see human beings starving in the streets. But go to Mexico and illegally go to Mexico and see what happens to you over there. And I just want to address, before we get out of here, there's a comment, I forgot the guy's name, but he said, and I get tired of this excuse when people say this. Well, Obama couldn't do anything because his hands were tied. I hear that argument all the time. Okay, his hands were tied, but he did DACA. He did the Dreamers Act, executive action. He did it, but yet his hands were tied. But he did DACA against the Congress, against the Supreme Court. He did it. And you guys keep telling me his hands were tied. No, it wasn't. If he wanted to do something, he could have done it, but he didn't. And that's just facts.
Man, we right now we'll do better. Like Al say, we need we need Balderman Davis for president to get something for black people. We gonna all be living in the projects when it's over, man. You know, and the young lady getting offended by what I'm saying about illegal immigrants. Man, they taking jobs from us, man. My brothers fresh out the place can get a job, man. I understand you want to help them, but you're not helping us. And you get upset because some of us don't agree with it. Well, I'm sorry, some of us are not going to agree with it. That's not Republican or Democrat. That's common sense. The hell is you going to live up in my house and think you ain't going to pay the light bill? But you get to live up in my country and you ain't got to pay no taxes. None of this was going down. But my taxes going up to take care of you. Man, y'all got to be crazy, man.
Demetria?
And them lies about Obama couldn't do nothing because his hands was tied. The man had a super majority his first term. If he wanted to pass reparations, it was nothing that the Republicans could do to stop him. He had every vote he needed.
But guess who would have stopped him? The Democrats.
Right. And so there you have it, people. We can go, right. We could go on and on about this. And so we won't, because we've already gone over time a little bit. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it is our objective to be informational and help our people being Black people. We want to, you know, do all that we can. And so from this point forward, we're not going to waste any more time on foolishness and nonsense, because we don't have that type of time as Black people. We are out of time. As Dr. Claude Anderson says, we are dangerously close, if not already, a permanent underclass, which means that we are beneath and below everybody in every way, shape, and form. And every time we got to stop to address drama, if you will, it takes us further and further and further to being permanent underclass. So I don't know about you guys. I don't want to be that. And so I would just say we just need to, you know, try to keep it positive and also know that the truth is not always going to be pretty. Sometimes we got to give it to you straight, no chaser. You know, and we got to take it the same way. And so that's all I have. But we'll be back here tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we will talk about something. So if you have any suggestions, please hit one of us up and we'll be more than happy to talk about it. So, fellas, your last words?
Well, real quick, my last words. Always remember, if you're going to troll where Donovan Sadiq is talking, you might want to think about that twice, because I don't play, because I'm the one for you. But again, you guys, great conversation. This is what this is about, having different grades of thought. There's an old saying, how do you know who your daddy is? Because your mother told you. Research these candidates, research the facts, make up your own mind. Good luck.
My mama always told me, you're going to figure out who your friends is. You either go to jail or you end up sick. When I got sick, the only family that I had was the people on Facebook. When I wanted to give up, when I was laying in that hospital, just laying there dying, and that white nurse, who I went back when I got well and hugged her with everything in my power, said, I'm not going to let you die. It seems like a lot of good people want you to live. I love every single one of y'all. Y'all give me breath every day. You give me strength when I'm tired. If you could imagine, I deal with the drama. I got to deal with the home life. I got to be the activist. I got to travel all over the country and then maintain a 3.5 GPA. I thank you too for what you did tonight, because you didn't have to do it. You did it because it was the right thing to do. And that's what we stand for on the War Zone. But if you ain't talking about getting a bag after the night, we ain't holding no more conversations. We about this money, man. So if you watching the War Zone and you don't want to be hypocritical, then you will understand I had my peoples with me tonight. My good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetra K, and until they drop me in my grave, the 5-star general, you only wish you were as good as us. We gonna continue to kick your behind every single night. Until tomorrow, we'll holler.